This video is more like a part 2 of the one I uploaded yesterday about the 5-speed versus 6-speed manual gearbox on 407 V6 Coupe petrol engine. Now, like I mentioned in the previous video, when I first put the 5-speed, when you want to move from standstill, the engine torque doesn't commit much earlier at a lower RPM. I think I did mention, so you hear a sound like kaka kaka kaka. So what I forgot to mention was that sound was at the early stage after the conversion. Because when you do convert a transmission from one to another, whether it's from automatic to manual or from 5-speed to 6-speed, whichever one, once you change the drive ratio or one way or the other, you need to reset the engine ECU or reinitialize it, because it needs to start to relearn the new input. So of course at that time, that was how it was behaving. The ECU started to learn because it had changed from 6-speed automatic to 5-speed automatic. So yes, I was getting that symptom at the early stage, so which took some days of drive, maybe call it 2 weeks or thereabout, some kilometers for the ECU to adapt to the new transmission, or the transmission added or swapped in before I could say over time. I don't think I was hearing that noise anymore. That sound, not noise. So even if it was there, I don't think it was that significant. I honestly can't remember hearing it after about 2-3 weeks drive. I think it went away because, as I expected, the ECU was supposed to run differently during that time, trying to adapt to the new transmission added to the vehicle. So that is what I forgot to point out. So it's not like if that's how it will be for the entire life of the vehicle with the 5-speed transmission, because it wasn't after a while. So just need to point it out on this particular video. Like for people who are not aware, probably be making mistakes while converting automatic to manual, or from manual to automatic, or from 5-speed to 5-speed to 6-speed, or 6-speed to 5-speed, or 4-speed, whichever one. As far as these modern Peugeot vehicles, at least the ones I've done conversion on, you are supposed to reset the ECU. If you don't do that, the car is going to run like a mess. You're supposed to reset the ECU, because the ECU, they are adaptive. Especially these ones I know about, they are adaptive. So it has stored some of those status, or not status per se, impulse values was receiving from all the sensors, solenoids, all the electronic components that work with the engine, and also even the gearbox too. So it will, even as you accelerate, it's also learning and storing it, so that it will be giving you that response, or dull acceleration or sharp acceleration, depending on how you drive, once the ECU is learning those inputs. So when you change automatic, you have to do that. If you swap in a different gearbox that is not the stock one, that has different ratios, you have to reset the ECU, let the ECU relearn it, and it takes a while. So at that time, even the fuel consumption will be erratic. You're not going to get the actual consumption that transmission or whatever you swap is going to give you over time. So don't expect the actual fuel consumption at that time. Like I said, it takes a while. Even the engine itself will be a little bit dull. It will actually respond maybe as quick as you want on the acceleration at that time. So it takes a while before everything sets, and then you start getting it the way. Even when someone that drives doesn't accelerate that fast, uh, um, drives your car, once that car, the ECU has learned the new impulse, your driving style, the person may not be able to, will feel the difference. That's my point. It's the same thing if you drive a particular phone. Let's say you drive a 4.7 V6 automatic in one car, or everything is in good condition, you enter another one, you might notice a difference because the ECU has learned something different from the other, so it will be responding how the person drives. So for you to ECU to drive the way you want, you have to reset it and you start learning again all over. Okay, so that's what I wanted to put out. So my point is there's nothing wrong with that 5-speed transmission, except that the torque count differences between the two. One is shorter, 6-speed shorter, the 5-speed longer. That's just basically the major difference between the two. Like I said, for fuel consumption, I'm not expecting any meaningful difference between the two, the 5-speed and the 6-speed, because as far as I'm concerned, when I put the 5-speed, the fuel consumption improved, or I won't say improved because there's nothing wrong even with that automatic, but it became much lower with the 5-speed manual. So I will expect it will likely be the same, but because just 2 days ago that I did swap in this 6-speed, so I believe we still be doing is learning and learning. So it's not yet time for me to know how the fuel consumption with the 6-speed will be. For people I've been asking questions after I published this part 1 video, asking questions about which one is quicker with this car with 5-speed or when it now has 6-speed. All I can tell you is, like I said earlier, the ECU is still doing its work, so it's not yet time for me to know which is quicker or not. But however, the 5-speed actually was able to meet the factory 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. So remember, it's about 8.3 or 8.5 seconds, something like 8.2 or thereabout. I can't remember, but I know it's 8 point something 0 to 100 kilometer vehicle. This particular 4.7 V6 coupe. So it met that standard. It met the same speed, same acceleration. So I will expect the 6-speed to be also do the same. Maybe when this is after ECU has finished doing its work, I may try it out and see what happens. But I'm not really much interested in doing that or expecting. You don't even need to do the 0 to 100 to know which is quicker. I can tell by the way the car drives which is quicker. But for now, I can't be able to tell. ECU is still learning. But I believe since the 5-speed was able to meet, so because the standard is with 6-speed, that's the factory claim. What Peugeot said, with 6-speed manual you get about 8.2 or 8.3 or something like that, and the 5-speed was able to meet that same seconds. So that's the point. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure that any of them is quicker. So both the 5-speed and the 6-speed basically going to be the same, but we'll see what happens. Maybe when the ECU is done and done learning the inputs. I'm telling you all these things because I'm likely the only person in the whole world that have this experience right now, because it's most likely no other person have done this type of conversion on 407 V6 coupe or even the saloon or station wagon. In fact, generally 407 V6 petrol. It's possible I'm the only one that have done this conversion. What I mean is from 6-speed automatic to 5-speed manual, then from 5-speed manual to 6-speed manual. So I'm in a better position to share my experience, to make you understand the differences. So in terms of between 5-speed manual to 6-speed automatic, which one will I choose? I will always go for the manual, even that 5-speed, because as simple as it's just very simple for me. When it comes to predictability, you can't match it with AMC. The manual, the 5-speed and the 6-speed manual, they are just accurately predictable. You know, unlike the AMCs that it chooses when to respond to your command or when not to, especially when you want it to downshift. You only like I said, it doesn't care about your own command. You only once in a while it will respond, sometimes it will not. And Peugeot stated it in their user manual that it's normal. So it's not like gearbox is faulty. That's how they program the transmission ECU to control the gearbox. So it's normal. So if you're okay with that, there's nothing wrong with the gearbox. But for someone like me, no, I don't. Because of my driving style. So the manual will always be the first option to me. So if you want to buy a 407 V6 Auto, go ahead. If you want to convert it to manual, I highly also recommend the 5-speed manual. There's nothing wrong with it in 407 V6, except that when you drive the 5-speed one and 6-speed one, you know there's a difference. So, but like I said, it doesn't mean one is faster than the other. But the way the car responds to acceleration will be different because of shorter gear ratios and the longer gear ratios. For me, I prefer the shorter gear ratios for this one. Who knows, in future I might decide to get another 407. So I'm honestly not interested because I have the coupe already, and I don't find the saloon attractive. So the only, unless if I, whatever reason tomorrow I get a saloon one, maybe I'll convert. I'll just put the 5-speed. I won't bother with 6-speed. So I had different experiences, driving boats. If I want shorter gear ratios, I go for this one. Want higher longer gear ratios, I go for the other one. I drive the other one. So, but for now, I have zero interest in saloon. Station wagon coupe is for me is the best out of all these other versions. So I hope that makes sense. So don't get discouraged if you want to convert. The 5-speed is also perfect for the 406, 607 and the other Peugeot vehicles with this engine. So just wanted to point it out. There's nothing wrong with the 5-speed in the 407. It's just different reaction to the vehicle. So it depends on which one you like more. Which one is better between auto and the manual, whether 5 or 6-speed, is a question of taste. For me, I prefer this. Maybe you might prefer the other. Okay, hope that helps.